Warning: some of the events taking place in this video is purely fictional and made for entertainment. Please take this video with a grain of salt as it is an alternate historical video. In an alternate world set during the late 1930s, the once strong ties between Belgium and the Netherlands begin to fray due to deepening economic disputes. The harsh realities of the Great Depression drive both nations to desperate measures to stay afloat. Struggling to secure resources and markets, they find themselves embroiled in a bitter trade disputes that stokes internal divisions. As economic woes deepen, a sense of desperation prevails, fanning the flames of nationalism within both countries. Meanwhile, on the international stage, the escalating economic conflict between the Low Countries is viewed as a potential disaster. The memory of the previous World War is still fresh, and global leaders such as Britain and France are determined to prevent another catastrophe. As a result, their focus shifts to appeasing the tensions in the lowlands, aiming to avoid a wider conflict at all costs. Unfortunately, that was not the case as the two lowland nations declared war on each other and tried to force peace the other for more favorable trade terms. Seeing this, the League of Nations moved their militaries into the lowlands and forced peace onto the lowland nations with the promise of economic aid to appease both nations for the time being. This redirection of attention away from Germany creates a vacuum that will have profound consequences. Amidst this backdrop, Germany nurses its own grievances. The harsh terms of the Treaty of Versailles continue to fuel resentment, and the unfair territorial losses inflicted upon the nation remain a thorn in its side. In particular, the loss of northern Schleswig to Denmark without the latter's participation in the war ignites a sense of injustice. Fueled by simmering rage, Germany sees an opportunity to redress these perceived wrongs. Channeling its frustrations, Germany strategically chooses to retake northern Schleswig. Initially, the German offensive is taken aback by initial pushbacks from the Danish, which they suspect that the British has provided material aid as protest to German aggression. Unfortunately, the Danish supply lines stretched too far into German territory. The Germans took the opportunity to test their new military tactic called Blitzkrieg to take back their old German territory and signed a peace treaty with Denmark. Simultaneously, in the Balkans, tensions between Yugoslavia and Albania reach a critical juncture. The assassination of a Yugoslav diplomat in Albania becomes the catalyst for a full-blown conflict, fueled by long-standing territorial disputes and ethnic rivalries. Fearing the destabilizing effects of nationalist movements, Yugoslavia takes decisive action to assert control over the situation and protect its interests. The conflict ends swiftly as the Yugoslavian military bulldozes through the Albanian capital and partitions its territory with Greece. Bulgaria launches an offensive against Turkey, with the Soviet Union supplying it with weapons and rations. Within the intricate tapestry of events, a hidden agreement occurs between the USSR and Bulgaria in the late 1930s. The Soviet Union extends an enticing offer to Bulgaria, promising territorial gains from Turkey's Thrace region and vital material aid in exchange for undertaking a military incursion to weaken Turkey for the USSR. Combined with its own intelligence reporting about Turkey's vulnerabilities, such as an overstretched military due to internal unrest and underdeveloped infrastructure, and considering the fact that they lost territories, manpower, and resources from the previous World War, Bulgaria makes a calculated decision. With the Soviet Union's pledge of support, Bulgaria initiates a military invasion into Turkey's Thrace, aiming to exploit what it believes to be a weakened foe. Initial gains in the campaign appear promising as Bulgarian forces achieve small advances into Thrace. However, unforeseen challenges arise on multiple fronts. Despite the USSR's promise, the anticipated flood of aid fails to materialize in the expected quantities due to the Soviet Union's own food shortage and poor economic planning, leaving Bulgarian forces ill-equipped and far stretched into enemy territory. As the conflict evolves, Turkey regroups and mounts a formidable counteroffensive. Turkish forces, leveraging strategic defensive positions and internal stability, manage to push the front lines back toward Bulgaria. The world watches in astonishment as the tide of battle shifts. Ultimately, Turkey seizes the opportunity to annex a portion of Bulgaria's eastern territory and the entire Black Sea coast. This territorial reconfiguration reshapes Bulgaria into a landlocked nation, strengthening Turkey's grip in the Balkans as well as its control in the Black Sea region. This concludes our exploration of an alternate world in the 1930s, a world that began with a lowland civil war, followed by German aggression and territorial expansion into Denmark. We witnessed the capitulation of Albania to Yugoslavia and the expansion of Turkey's sphere of influence in the Balkans at the detriment of Bulgaria. Stay tuned for the upcoming Part 2, as we delve further into the intricate twists and turns of this captivating alternate history. Thank you for joining us, and remember to subscribe for more alternate history mapping content.